All right, so now we're going to talk about redundancy, and in the context of phone. So I'm a huge fan of redundancy. You're going to hear more about this in the InfoSec, the 2 days of InfoSec that we do if you choose to continue the course. But in the context of phone, I recommend just get a burner phone that you don't normally use. It's just an unlocked iPhone. You can get it. I recommend that app OfferUp that I showed in the last lesson. It's not only good for selling your own stuff, but it's good for buying stuff. And I got like a $200 brand new iPhone 6s through OfferUp recently. So whatever, it's a good idea to have a backup phone. People, if not you, people in your group will lose their phone over the course of the year. And it's nice to be able to provide a backup phone, even if you don't use it. If someone else loses their phone, to have the capacity to help them get back online is a good thing. So with that phone, again, make sure it's unlocked. That will allow you to use local SIMs. The other option, and I didn't personally do this, but I had people in our group who did. Google Fi is the Google phone service that works internationally, and the people that used it loved it. They said it was very fast, it was pretty reliable. It is Android only, although, and technically if you use it on iPhone you're violating their terms of service, but it is possible. You have to activate it on an Android, and then you basically swap the SIM and put it into an iPhone and it'll work. I can't advocate breaking Google terms of service, but that works, and you should be aware of that. If you've never tethered before, I will show you, or I'll link to a tutorial on that, but tethering is basically where you just turn your phone into a hotspot. You should definitely know how to do that. Wi-Fi connectivity in the places that you go may not be the greatest, so you should always have the ability to tether to your phone and turn it into a hotspot. But we'll go over that on the day that we cover mobile stuff. Okay, other things to know about redundancy as it relates to phone. VoiP, or it's good to have other methods for making calls that don't rely upon what's called the PTSN, the public switch, or PSTN, public switch telephone network, right? So having phone, like making calls, when you make a call through your iPhone and it's not on a Wi-Fi and you're just calling over the air and it uses a cell network, you're connecting through the public switch telephone network. There are other methods to make phone calls like Skype and Hangouts and Google Voice and some of these other tools for being able to make calls. You basically want to give yourself a lot of options. I encourage you to get a Google Voice account before you leave the States, and here's why. A couple things. So, let's say you lose both of your phones and you now have no way to make calls. If you have Google Voice, you still can always call through your laptop or your iPad or whatever, right? So it just gives you it gives you yet another option in terms of how you can do calls. That also, any services you have, people that signed up for Venmo and used a phone number that then when they lost their phone and they didn't have access to that phone number anymore and they had to reinstall Venmo, you have no ability to do so, right? So hanging your services off of Google Voice means that those SMS authentication alerts, you can still get those when you lose your phone, and when you need to reinstall something, you just use a web browser and the SMS alerts will come to that, right? So you can basically get locked out if you hang stuff off of an SMS phone number that when you lose it, you're screwed. So highly encourage you to set up a Google Voice number. It's easy to do that. You can even port your number and make Google Voice your primary number. Whatever you do, though, I would encourage you to, any accounts that you set up, like Venmo, I would encourage you to register those on Google Voice. And we'll talk more about that again in the mobile apps section that's coming up. We'll go dig into that deeper. But redundancy-wise, from a phone perspective, you just want to have a lot of options for being able to make calls, right? Okay, so this was actually a pretty quick day. We covered the financial stuff. We covered phone. We'll do a wrap-up video here, and then we'll be done. It's an easy one, all right?